The NFL season is here, and I know all of us degenerates are ready to get after it. We have pick'em leagues that need to be serviced. We have bookies that need to be called. We got family pools, work pools, ESPN pools, CBS, wherever you play. We've got to get taken care of that. If that describes you, you're in the right place. I'm Bradley with DoublySports, and this is our NFL game picks for Week 1 of the 2020 season. Not only are we going to talk about each game on the slate this weekend, but we're going to give a little bit of insight, a little bit of fantasy insight, information on key matchups as we talk about our favorite odds of the week. Those favorite odds will come at the end of the video. If you like what you see or just want good luck, go ahead and hit that like button and then subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We've deleted all of our old videos. We've rebranded in hopes of bringing you a better overall product. So let's get started. Obviously, we're going to start with game 1. That's Thursday night. Houston Texans at the Kansas City Chiefs. This game opened at 10-point favorites for the Chiefs, and really that's massive amount in the NFL. But if there's one team that can absolutely cover it with their offense, it's the Chiefs. A lot of people are saying they're going to be even better than they were last year. This game's going to feature two of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league, if not the two highest, and it's going to obviously be a shootout. I wish DeAndre Hopkins was still here in this Texans offense. We could be looking at like a Chiefs-Rams 90-point game from a few years ago. Still, the Chiefs are the Super Bowl champions for a reason. Texans just don't have enough offensive firepower at this moment. I'll take the Chiefs to win and cover the 9 points, barely. But listen, if I'm wrong, blow me up on Friday. Find me on Twitter. Blow me up. At Brad M. Lee, at DoublySports. Let me know that I was wrong. I'm from Houston. I'm rooting for them. Next game, Miami Dolphins at the New England Patriots. 6.5-point favorites are the New England Patriots. And I know some of you are probably tired of me saying this, but I can't wait to see Cam Newton tear up the field this season. With Bill Belichick and the media going in a freaking frenzy over Cam Newton and what he's done already in the preseason, sort of speak, for the Patriots, he's going to come out and absolutely smash the Dolphins. You could say to yourself, Bradley, the Patriots defense lost so much this offseason. Yeah, and the Dolphins are still the Dolphins. I wouldn't want to be the first team to come out face-to-face with a 6'5", 250-pound vegan beast bearing down my throat. He's probably bigger than any defender that the Dolphins actually have on defense, and they're not going to be stopping him in the red zone. He is the ultimate red zone threat. Now you pair him with the proven wide receivers of Julian Edelman. You got an electric backfield with a mixed bag of goodies. Yeah, Bill Belichick's going to be coming out firing. Sign me up for that one. Patriots come out 1-0 and start their route to winning the AFC East once again. Cleveland Browns against the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens open up at 8-point favorites, or currently sit at 8-point favorites, I should say. Odell Beckham Jr., the truest of true, number 2 wide receivers. They're going to hope to cover this 8-point spread against the Baltimore Ravens, but I don't know. Ravens pretty good this year. Hollywood Brown packed on some muscle. I think they said he put on 20 pounds of muscle. Hayden Hurst is out of the picture. Mark Andrews steps in. He's now going to be the every down tight end. J.K. Dobbins, he's going to have to share the backfield with Mark Ingram. I really think the Ravens actually got stronger this offseason with another year under their belt. I think the Browns score enough to keep it close, but the Ravens just overall have way too much going on. They don't make mistakes that hurt themselves. The Browns tend to have that characteristic. Give me the Ravens to win this one. The New York Jets at the Buffalo Bills. Bills, 6.5-point favorites. I'm going to go ahead and take Buffalo. That's about all you need to say in this one. In terms of fantasy football, give me all the shares of Stephon Diggs I can early on in the season. Buy him now, sell him in a few weeks. I think him and Josh Allen are going to come out and do really, really well together. Josh Allen has always struggled with the overthrow. You can't outthrow Stephon Diggs. Las Vegas Raiders at the Carolina Panthers. Again, I'm going to clear my mind as a Carolina Panthers fan. Try and speak unbiased here. Listen, there's a lot of speed on offense for both teams. The Panthers had a lot of young talent on defense, and they are very young, one of the youngest defenses in the last 10 years in the NFL. The Raiders added a lot of young talent on offense. Unfortunately for the Raiders, it sucks because you don't have previous tape of the coaches that you get to watch. Bridgewater wasn't an everyday starter for this team last year. Robbie Anderson wasn't here for the Carolina Panthers last year. Half the staff was basically coaching at LSU or at Baylor. It can't be easy to game plan for that, and slowing down the most electric back in the league who's going to be used in a new twist. I look for mistakes to be made, but not only on the Panthers' defensive side, but the Oakland offense. For that, I'm taking the over in this one, over 47.5, assuming both teams score more than 22 points because of those defenses that they're putting onto the field. If you want to talk straight up in terms of pick'em, Carolina Panthers at home, 3-point dogs. I'll take the Carolina Panthers. Seattle Seahawks going to Atlanta and the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons are right now 2-point underdogs, and I love this matchup for DraftKings and Fanduel if you are playing daily fantasy sports. Fantastic options all over the field. Russell Wilson throws more passes in the red zone than any quarterback last year. Tyler Lockett led all wide receivers. Surprisingly, all wide receivers in red zone targets. DK Metcalf also cracked into the top 15. Julio Jones couldn't have been any farther from that. I think this one's close, but Chris Carson, Todd Gurley, you got to look at those two guys as kind of the difference maker, and right now, I got to give the edge to Chris Carson. Ridley, Jones, Lockett, Metcalf, all great starts in any league that you're playing in for fantasy sports, but give me the Seahawks to get a first road win for them in the 2020 campaign. The Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington football team. All right, the one bright spot for Washington, it's their defense, right? But I don't think they have what it takes on offense to cover the 6 points. You mean to tell me that because of the whirlwind of an offseason that they had, that they will still come out and somehow perform? Nah, bruh. Nah. I wish Ron Rivera the best of luck in his recovery and helping build and revamp this organization. But Philadelphia is going to come in with basically only 2 wide receivers and somehow steamroll the Washington team. I almost called them the Redskins. I just don't think Washington's going to be able to put up any points. If you're Philadelphia, you shut down Terry McLaurin, and there's nothing else really left, right? You got maybe Logan Thomas. You have your new back in Gibson. Those are both projects. We'll have to wait and see how that turns out. Philadelphia Eagles to beat the Washington football team. Chicago Bears at Detroit Lions. Mitchell Trubisky, I'm glad people are starting to realize he's not as good as everyone thought he was going to be. I'm sure all of us are saying it now. Like, no, we know he wasn't good. Yeah. But everywhere you looked on ESPN, they were saying Trubisky was going to be the next big thing. However, how did he beat Nick Foles for the starting job? To me, this game is kind of a toss-up. You have Allen Robinson, who is nearly a league leader in targets for wide receivers, but I don't trust anything about this Bears offense at this point. I want them to prove it to me. So this game I'm staying away from for the most part, but Detroit looks to be healthy for the first time in a very long time. Detroit at home, only 3 points, and Matthew Stafford is going to prove that he still has the it factor. Also, just realize he's been in the league for 12 years, and he's only 32. He's going to live forever. All right, now for a game that really no one wants to watch, and I feel like these last 3 have kind of been this way. It's the Indianapolis Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville has absolutely self-destructed and 100% committed to tanking for Trevor. This team is, in my mind, without a doubt, the worst team in the league. I know a lot of people say Washington, maybe the Jets, maybe even the Carolina Panthers are the worst team. But it's far and beyond. It's Jacksonville. Philip Rivers might not have the arm strength that he once had, but as a father of 14 kids, he has to be filled with jovial youthfulness right now. I expect him to still love working with Jack Doyle and T.Y. Hilton, Jonathan Taylor, Marlon Mack, and he gets to comfortably sit behind what is probably the best offensive line in the league. Philip Rivers, he's old. He doesn't want to get hit. He's got, like I said, 17 kids that he has to look after. He's going to stay healthy in Indianapolis. I look for them to come out and win big over the Jaguars. Green Bay Packers at the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings 3-point favorites, but they lose Stephon Diggs in the offseason. Packers really didn't do much to help themselves, in my opinion. You waste that first-round pick on a quarterback. I think this game is skin tight. A lot of people do with Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones. Just put the ball in their hand and they're willing to score or are capable of scoring at any point in time. think it's going to take some time for Kirk Cousins to mesh without Stephon Diggs and with Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson on the outside. And oh yeah, Xavier Rhodes is gone. I'll take the Packers in this one because they held Adam Thielen to only 11 fantasy points in 2 combined games last year. Green Bay Packers know something. The LA Chargers against the Cincinnati Bengals, 3.5-point favorites for the Chargers. I was kind of surprised by that because I'm not sure what to make of this game. I want Joe Burrow to go off and be the superstar that we all kind of want him to be. And he has some amazing weapons. You have AJ Green, if he can stay healthy, Tyler Boyd, John Ross. You have the guys up there. Both defenses are below average, so instead of picking a winner against the spread, I'm probably just going to be looking at the over in this one. At only 43 points and Derwin James went down, I can see both teams scoring 3 touchdowns on offense pretty easily. I think it's a pretty easy over here in my eyes, and a slight edge to the Chargers because they have Austin Eckler. And in the off chance that he ever sees this video and me making a prediction, and that if I were to pick against him, he would destroy me. On his Instagram, that man looks like he's been bench pressing cars and curling redwoods out in California in the off season. I'm not picking against him. Give me the Chargers in this one. Arizona Cardinals and the San Francisco 49ers. Arizona Cardinals and the San Francisco 49ers. I'm really excited to see DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray connect throughout the season. Reports have been great in their camp thus far. I've been reading a lot about them. And for the 49ers to lose in the Super Bowl in the fashion that the 49ers did, I think it hurts. I think they stumble out of the gates. We see it almost every year. The team that loses the Super Bowl struggles. I don't see that being a change this year. The San Francisco defense is absolutely the real deal. But we've seen what losing the biggest game of your career can do. For that, I think the Cardinals can surprise some people early on. Not only do they cover the 7 points in this game, the Arizona Cardinals come out and get the W. Yeah, the win. Arizona Cardinals +7 winning outright. Tampa Bay Buccaneers get the New Orleans Saints. Yes, I'm a Panthers fan, so hear me out. I live in the NFC South. I think the Bucs are overhyped. Bradley, but they have all the weapons. Yep, I know. Can they be great? Yes, they absolutely can. Will they? No. Tom Brady, Mike Evans, Gronkowski, Godwin, they're going to make some tremendous plays this year. That defense is still terrible. I still don't believe in Bruce Arians as a coach. It's an all-or-nothing season for them, in my opinion. They are 100% committed to making this their year. But New Orleans, at home, is one of the hardest places to start a season. New Orleans Saints will roll in this one. Michael Thomas, and by roll, I don't mean they're going to blow the Bucs out. I'm saying you will not stop that offense. The Saints might not stop the Bucs offense either, but you are no chance of slowing down the Saints at home. I think Michael Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders both get over 100 yards. Finally, we're closing down on some of these games. Dallas Cowboys against the LA Rams. For the first time in forever, it's hard to say this, but I'm buying into the Cowboys hype. Go ahead. Take a moment, Cowboys fans. Let it sink in. Bradley is actually picking the Cowboys. I'm buying into it. I really am. How can you not win the NFC East? How can you not have one of the best records in the NFC this season? You add CeeDee Lamb through the draft. You're infinitely better with head coach Mike McCarthy. You get the Redskins twice. You get the Giants twice. You get the Eagles twice. All of these teams, in my opinion, are below average at this very moment. That's 6 wins right there. I know they're going to falter once the playoffs hit, but for now, give me all the Cowboys shares that we can handle. -3 isn't enough. Even if Vegas were to bump this up to -7, I would still be willing to take it. It's probably not smart money to be taking that, but I'm really confident in the Cowboys in this one going up against the Los Angeles Rams. All right, now we're into Monday night with the Pittsburgh Steelers at the New York Giants. Big Ben looks as healthy as that he's been in a long time. After playing the 2019 campaign with basically 2 fingers, I don't know if you read those reports, but he had torn a bunch of ligaments or tendons that connected his throwing hand to his fingers. Wideouts are healthy. James Conner's healthy. I don't think the Giants have done enough to help out Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. Dave Gettleman's just not very good. So I'll take the Steelers on the road in this one. And finally, the Tennessee Titans at the Tennessee Titans at the Denver Broncos. I'm not dyslexic, I swear, but there's something wrong with my brain. So major news came out about this one. Von Miller just went down with a nasty, nasty ankle injury. Titans are now 2.5-point favorites because of that, and I think that's pretty accurate. A lot of people are probably going to pile on to the Titans because of their performance last year and this injury to Von Miller, but the Broncos offense could be sneaky good. I think it's a close game, but teams have gone all preseason, and they've gone months without hard tackling against other players. And you mean to tell me that your first game, you get the luxurious opportunity to stop Derrick Henry for a full game after 20, 25, 30 carries? What? You are going from literally pillow fighting in the preseason to tackling a dang cement mixer barreling down you at 70 miles per hour. Yeah, that's it. Tennessee Titans absolutely covering in this one. So go ahead, lock it in. My 5 locks of the week. Arizona Cardinals +7 against San Francisco. Tennessee Titans -2.5 against the Denver Broncos. Dallas Cowboys 3 points. Panthers Raiders over 47.5 points. And the Green Bay Packers +3. I really like the dogs this week, it appears. So we're going to continue to roll with that. Let me know where I got wrong. Let me know what I got right. If you agree, if you don't agree, find me on all social media. On Twitter at Brad M. Lee or DoublySports. Brad M. Lee is my personal account, and I talk about everything on there. DoublySports, absolutely sports-centered, and I'd love to take your questions and talk to you a little bit more on either one of those channels. Over on Facebook, facebook.com/DoublySports, we're posting all the weekly content that we produce, as well as our daily fantasy sports. So if you're into Draftkings and Fanduel, make sure you tune into this channel for our sleeper studs and stacks, and find us on Facebook, again, facebook.com/DoublySports. If you want to follow me on Instagram, instagram.com/BEE or at BEE if you just open up the app. And I'd love to follow you back there. I'm looking for sports fans to interact with all the time. Call up your bookie, call up Vegas, fly out there, go to the local casino, do it legally, lock it in, those 5 picks. Cardinals, Titans, Cowboys, Panthers, Raiders over, and the Packers. I'll see you next week for week number 2, and I'll let you know exactly what we did right and what we got wrong.